Hey kids, do you ever have one of those days where you think of one thing and then it makes you think about a million other things? Like I was thinking about a game I could play with my friends later today at the park. I thought about the game Red Rover. It's a really cool game. But then my brain took over. I thought about red velvet cake, which is my favorite kind of cake. Then I thought about red roses, which are beautiful red flowers. Then I thought about poppies because they're also red flowers. Then I thought about poppy seeds, which taste really good in muffins. Then I thought about pomegranate seeds because they're red and they're tasty seeds. Then I thought about wheat seeds and that they're used to make bread. And then I thought about how much I love to eat bread and all the things you can put on it like peanut butter and jam. That made me think about a story my mom used to read to me called The Little Red Hen. And I thought this would be a great story to share with all of you. So, you know what time it is. That's right, it's story time with me, Little Kitten. The Little Red Hen, an Old English folk tale retold and illustrated by Florence White Williams. A little red hen lived in a barnyard. She spent almost all her time walking around the barnyard in her pickety-peckety fashion, scratching everywhere for worms. She dearly loved fat, delicious worms, and she felt they were absolutely necessary for the health of her children. As often as she found a worm, she would call chuck, chuck, chuck to her chickies. When they were gathered all around her, she would give them equal amounts of tasty bites of fat, delicious worms. She was a busy little body, she was. A cat usually napped lazily in the barn door, not even bothering herself to scare the rat who ran here and there and everywhere as he pleased. And as for the pig, who lived in the sty, he did not care what happened, so long as he could eat and grow fat. One day, the little red hen found a seed. It was a wheat seed, but the little red hen was so accustomed to bugs and worms that she supposed this to be some new and perhaps very delicious kind of meat. She bit into it gently and found that it resembled a worm in no way whatsoever. But because of its long and slender shape, a little red hen might easily be fooled by its appearance. Carrying it around, she asked many of the other animals in the barnyard what it might be. She found out that it was a wheat seed, and that if planted, it would grow up, and when ripe it could be made into flour and then into bread. When she discovered that, she knew it should be planted. She was so busy hunting food for herself and her chickies that naturally she thought she wouldn't have time to plant it herself. So she thought of the pig who did nothing but eat, or the cat who never seemed to have anything to do, or the fat rat running around for no reason. And she called to them loudly, "Who will plant the seed?" "Not I," said the pig. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the rat. "Well then," said the little red hen, "I will." And she did. Then she went around doing her daily chores through the long summer days, scratching for worms and feeding her chickies, where the pig grew fat, and the cat grew fat, and the rat grew fat, and wheat grew tall and ready for the harvest. So one day, the little red hen noticed how large the wheat was and that the grain was ripe, so she ran around calling loudly, Who will cut the wheat?" "Not I," said the pig. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the rat. "Well then," said the Little Red Hen, "I will." And she did. She got the sickle out from among the farmer's tools in the barn and proceeded to cut off all the big plant of wheat. On the ground lay the nicely cut wheat, ready to be gathered and threshed. But the newest and yellowest and fluffiest of Mrs. Hen's chickies set up a peep peep peeping in their most noisy fashion, letting everyone in the barnyard know, and their mother, that she was not paying attention. Poor Little Red Hen! She felt sad for her chickies and hardly knew what to do about it. Her attention was very divided between taking care of her chickies and taking care of the wheat. So again, in a very hopeful tone, she called out, "Who will thresh the wheat?" "Not I," said the pig. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the rat. "Well then," said the Little Red Hen, "I will." And she did. Of course, she had to feed her chickies first, though, and when she had gotten them all to sleep for their afternoon nap, she went out and threshed the wheat. Then she called out, "Who will carry the wheat to the mill to be ground into flour?" "Not I," said the pig. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the rat. "Well then," said the Little Red Hen, "I will." And she did. So the good Little Red Hen carried the sack of wheat all the way to the distant mill. There she ordered the wheat to be ground into beautiful white flour. When the miller brought her the flour, she walked slowly back all the way to her own barnyard in her own pickety-peckety fashion. She was not in the habit of making bread, although of course anyone can make it if he or she follows a recipe with care. And she knew perfectly well that she could do it if necessary. So after her chickies were fed and made sweet and fresh for the day, she hunted up the pig, the cat, and the rat. Still confident that they would surely help her someday, she sang out, "Who will make the bread?" "Not I," said the pig. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the rat. Alas, the Little Red Hen had her hopes dashed once more. "Well then," said the Little Red Hen, "I will." And she did. Feeling like she might have known the whole time that she would have to do it all by herself, she went out and put on a clean apron and a spotless cook's hat. First of all, she set the dough, as was proper. When it was time, she brought out the baking tins, divided the dough into loaves, and put them in the oven to bake. All the while, the cat sat lazily by, giggling and chuckling. And close at hand, the vain rat powdered his nose and admired himself in the mirror. In the distance could be heard the long, drawn-out snores of the snoozing pig. At last, the great moment arrived. A delicious odor was wafting through the autumn breeze. Everywhere the barnyard citizens sniffed the air with delight. The Little Red Hen ambled in her pickety-peckety way toward the source of all the excitement. Although she appeared perfectly calm, in reality she was trying hard not to dance and sing. For had she not done all the hard work of making this wonderful bread? No wonder she was the most excited one in the barnyard. She did not know if the bread was fit to eat, but joy of joys! When the lovely brown loaves came out of the oven, they were done to perfection. Then, probably because it was now a habit, she called out, "Who will eat the bread?" All the animals in the barnyard were watching hungrily and smacking their lips in anticipation. And the pig said, "I will." The cat said, "I will." The rat said, "I will." But the little red hen said, "No, you won't. I will." And she did. The end. Well, there you go, kids. That's the story of the Little Red Hen. It's kind of sad that the cat, pig, and the rat didn't want to help the Little Red Hen with her wheat seed. She gave them so many chances, too. I guess they were too busy doing nothing to help her. And in the end, they didn't get any of her delicious bread that she made. Weren't the little chickies cute, though? You know, this story always makes me a little hungry for bread. I think I'll go see if Baby Bear wants to come over and bake some with me. It's always more fun with a friend, especially Baby Bear. He's so silly. I can't wait for all of you to meet him. I'm pretty sure I can get him to help me read another story. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.